The Headstream looms large in the cockpit windows as it comes to a stop. Can't believe you talked me into this, Serafin sighs. This is not a good plan. Convincing Serafin to take Kirk out to this Lotic freighter wasn't exactly easy, but with a pithead on lockdown, there really weren't any other options. Voice crackles over Serafin's terminal, loud enough to hear, but quiet enough that you can't pick out what's being said. We're staying. Serafin glances back over his shoulder at you, telling us to prepare for docking, pulls nervously and turns back to the console. Good. Keep them talking. You look behind you see Kirk floating by the doorway. Serafin flicks the comms switch and begins speaking to the Lotic ship, thanking them for responding to the distress signal, trying his best to play the part of a nervous trader suffering from an engine failure in the debris field. Kirk jerks his head for you to follow him into the corridor, and you unclip from your seat and float out behind him. It's okay with you, I'm going to play the captain on this one, but Star suggests he isn't asking for permission. And fine by me. Nods. I appreciate it. Let me tell you how this is going to go. Starts moving down towards the airlock and you follow as he talks. The Headstream has been holding here, cycle after cycle, while Wellspring tried to quash our little rebellion. Smiles at the idea. Now the blockade is in effect, well, they'll know they have to hold out for a little longer still, while the messages from Lotic operations get less and less frequent. He stops by the locker, swapping his Lotic uniform for an old flight jacket. This is a ship full of tired, unhappy, underpaid, and underfed workers. We both arrive at the airlock. We just have to nudge their anger in the right direction. There is a hiss as the airlock cycles. Lotic are coming aboard. Kirk catches your eye and gives you a wink. The airlock doors scissor open, revealing a drained-looking Lotic captain flanked by security officers. Lambert, captain of the Headstream. He presents himself immediately, but with little enthusiasm. We've been in communication with your pilot, and are docking as requested to provide support. Looks between you and Kirk, his eyes lingering on you a little too long, no doubt taking in the strange vanilla skin, dark glowing eyes, and doll-like face of your frame. Directs his attention to Kirk. How far is your crew? Thank you, Captain. You notice the immediate change in Kirk, his deflated posture and softer speech. We are surviving as best as we can, but now that you have come to our rescue, he sighs and holds out an eager hand to Lambert. We are very grateful indeed. Lambert limply shakes Kirk's hand. Not to worry. Lotic Syndicate takes its stewardship of Wellspring and the surrounding environs seriously. It is our duty to offer aid to traders and travelers alike. I'm afraid we don't have much to offer by the way of supplies. Our stores have been depleted by our long posting here. Our crew is free to enter our ship and make use of its facilities while you make your repairs. Kirk continues playing the submissive captain, nodding enthusiastically and uttering a stream of thank yous. You feel like he's pushing it a little, though Lambert only seems to be paying the minimum of attention to him. Suddenly he turns a sharp eye to you. Your pilot didn't mention he had a sleeper aboard. Don't? Kirk quickly responds. Apologies, they are such a good worker and quiet too. You sometimes forget they are even here. Perhaps, if your ship is in the need of maintenance, you can borrow them for a few cycles? Lambert eyes you more brazenly now, taking Kirk's lead as permission to indulge his curiosities. Yes! His eyes trace a tear in the thick skin of your forearm. Perhaps it could be of use to us. Kirk smiles. I'll send them to speak with your crew. I'm sure they can direct the sleeper to appropriate tasks. Oh, they'd love that, Lambert jokes. They're a work-shy bunch, this lot. I'm sure they'd be eager for a slave. The word sets you on the edge. He's silent. We're happy to serve, Kirk bows. After all, we owe you for our safety. Very good. Lambert seems suddenly bored or tired. Prepares both. Tell our crew they are free to cross the docking tunnel then. Pauses. But remind them that no funny business will be tolerated. He smiles a sharp smile. Now matters to attend to. Lambert turns. See you later, Captain. And with that, Lambert heads back to down the tunnel, still flanked by his two silent security officers. Kirk waits until he is out of sight to turn to you. Good. Lets out a breath. Well held, sleeper. I thought from the look in your eye you were going to knock him out. Oh, I'd love to. I bet. Kirk stares down the corridor. Don't you worry, we are going to pay him back for all that very soon. Kirk squeezes your shoulder. Shall we go and meet his crew? See what their opinions are on Lotic's administration? He smiles broadly. With a captain like that, I doubt they'll be very positive. Okay, I have several options here. Engine room, navigation control, payload ops. Okay, temporary payload, I'll discuss the war. Alotic are trying to profit from the war and their monopoly on water. The cargo crews just need some encouragement to see it. A leaking payload means the cargo crew will be on the edge all cycle, just don't get caught messing with the tanks. Yeah. Navigation control debate Wellspring. The situation of Wellspring is untenable. You just need to get the nav tech to realize that on their own. Falsified data. False data in the system will lead to frustration and mistakes on the bridge. Techs, if you can plant it without being seen. Okay, as for mutiny, bring each section of the crew against their captain is the job, and isn't going to be an easy one. Navigators are supportive of Lambert, but less so of Lotic overall. Let's start with that. Data falsification. Glitches in the navigation system mean extra work for the techs. They grumble as they fix the system. What's 65566? Dude. Let's push it. And see where I can apply the second 6. In the engine room. Sabotage engines. Nothing spreads discontent more than malfunctioning engines, but you'll have to be subtle on your sabotage. Precise contracts. Engine room crews are always the worst paid. A little bit of contract discussion should spread discontent. Let's send Kirk on that. Engine room crew starts comparing contract terms and find many are paid unfairly. Let's start with the engine crew. Okay. Then we have the 6 from Junie. Let's use that to falsify data. Okay, now I have a couple of 5s. And I can temporary the payload. Crew suspect debris damage rather than your crew when a new leak springs. They're sick of bad jobs. Moo ha ha. Something like that. No? Okay, less perfect rolls, but still quite good. Oh yeah, I can repair here, and then it shouldn't... No. I'm unavailable, no. Shouldn't be a problem then. Be able to repair on the job there. Okay, so obviously push it. The 5 to discuss the war. No. 5 and a 6. Aha. Ginny on her own. Silently falsifying data. This is fine. Lower that one. And like I don't really have a good enough roll there, so let's sleep on it. Don't have to push it unnecessarily. And also if I get broken dice, I can try to fix it. Yeah. Fix it where I can. Oh, I can, okay. Yeah, 6566. Holy moly, good roll. Good rolls. If I could dump the one somewhere. This is only going to be unfortunate. Things are done. Tension on the Headstream has risen beyond the point of no return. Go. Not being suspected. Something like that. Support increase. I'll try to use the 4 here. Get up to 5. Yeah. Techs have to reboot the navigation system, but the errors they're seeing are suspicious. And we'll have a crisis. System crew has started sending updates on the growing tension into Wellspring. This is trouble. Let's make sure that that's dealt with. Come on, baby. Nice. Let's go that. You hope you won't need them later. Yeah. I hope I won't need them later. Yeah, I don't need to push it unnecessarily then. ED's 1. Oh, come on. 1 and 2. Rude. The Headstream has risen beyond the point of no return. And this is... Wait, Wellspring? It's risky, but you know. Good, okay. I'm fine with that. We can get it next round. You're going to use up all my supplies. Supplies on 3. Plus stress, plus crew stress. Fine. Second die is broken. We have a 6, baby. We have a 6. Crew crashes into the bay you are crossing. It's all king off, Sleeper. Wild glee in his eyes. Lambert's lost control. Guides you through the Headstream, a ship you have become surprisingly familiar with over the past few cycles. Perhaps it is the influence of getting to know the crew and their complaints around Lambert and the Syndicate. Its twisting corridors, thick pipes, and cold metal have taken on an oppressive feel, cycle by cycle, hour by hour. Now, as the shouts of conflict echo down the corridor ahead, where rim glows with the warm light of the galley, you feel that oppressive ball being scraped away, replaced with some new and exciting quality. Enough! Lambert shouts echoes like a shot as you enter the crowded alley. From what you can tell, more than half the crew have crowded into this space. They're clumped around some perch on the side of the units. Order you to return to your stations! Lambert floats slightly above the crowd, his hands held up in a gesture of futile calming or never surrender. You see him glance over his shoulder, and tracing his view, you see security officers densely gathering at the back of the room. On Kirk. Turn to Kirk, ready to indicate the mass security, but you are met with a wide smile that makes you pause. Just wait. Kirk winks, and you turn to see security moving through the crowd. If you will not retreat willingly, I will have no other choice than to use force! Lambert's voice breaks with anger. Disperse! He watches the guards form up behind Lambert, and then one moves forward and grabs him, forcing his arm behind his back. The act is met with a raucous cheer from the assembled crew and a yelp from Lambert himself. He is forced through the crowd, you part and jeer, heading directly for the corridor from which you entered. While Lambert is close, Kirk nods to the security officer holding him, and they stop. Lambert looks up in confusion and stares directly into Kirk's grin. You are officially removed from duty as captain of the Headstream, on the authority of the Wellspring Workers Alliance. Kirk's tone is direct and clipped. This is done with the authority of majority ballot of your crew. Workers Alliance? You have no authority, you're pirates! Lambert spits at Kirk. There will be consequences. On that, we agree. Kirk nods to the security officer, and they wrench a struggling Lambert from the room. Kirk watches Lambert go, determination set in his heavy brow. What will happen to him? Lambert can enjoy the hospitality of his own brick. Kirk pats you on the back. We have a celebration to muster. The galley erupts in liberated joy, and soon drinks and food are passed around from a stash Lambert had been asking the quartermaster to keep back for his own use. You sit on the counter and look on as the crew celebrates. You watch as Kirk moves effortlessly through the room, giving and receiving thanks in equal measure. Despite his intimidating appearance, you see him in something softer coming to the surface, something reserved for those he has struggled alongside, fresh allies, and are old friends to him. After the celebrations have died down and the crew have retreated to make plans for supporting the blockade, holding out on what they have, Kirk approaches you. Not toasting the victory, he offers you a transparent bag of ship-brewed moonshine. The crew of the Headstream. Kirk smiles. To our comrades. I think it's time we return to Wellspring. He looks off towards the last crew member as leaving the room. We've done our job. Say the word. Just the pretend captain, Kirk smiles. That ship out there is yours to command and everyone knows it. You suddenly notice how exhausted Kirk looks, his eyes dark and hooded. He looks down towards the scuffed floor. What is your goal? Freedom of all workers in the belt to benefit from their labor? He laughs weakly. As usual. It's not what's on my mind though. He looks around the room. I'm thinking about the retaliation Lodek is about to visit on the good people of this crew. He sighs a heavy sigh. Kirk takes a deep breath and lets it out slow. The struggle goes on. He pushes off from the counter, heads towards the docking bridge. You take a moment before you follow your mind drifting to the crew and the struggle they have ahead. As you do, a small and perhaps unfair part of you thinks, well, it's life in the belt. Well, that's life in the belt. Also, can I can't rest and recover, yeah. Okay, leave.